What is up, everyone? I'm Pinecone Enthusiast, and welcome back to another Escape from Tarkov video. Now today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. A lot of people have been asking me to do casual money-making guides and how, I kind of go about my way through a wipe and how I make my money as a casual player or from a casual perspective. And today we're actually going to be going through Customs, my favorite map in the game. I think it is great for casual players, and I'm just going to be showing you guys how I go through Customs, how I loot Customs, and why I think it's one of the best maps for casual players to play. Now, the new Customs expansion completely opened the map up. It added so much more loot, and honestly, the experience of Customs is fantastic now. It's not all bottlenecky. You don't have to go through certain spots, and not everyone just rushes dorms anymore. And on top of that, Customs isn't really known for its Chad activity. There are some Chads these days because we're at the end of a wipe, and that is to be expected. I've been shot by 995 and Eagle Nick quite often recently, but like I said, that's to be expected. But Customs, I really feel like it gives newer players and casual players an experience in where you can loot. You don't have an extreme chance of dying because there's so many people, on the map. And you're not going to pull out of Customs with some crazy ass loot most of the time, but you can make out, and you can make profit. You can drop some PvPs, you can drop some scabs, and you can make it out. And honestly, making it out of a raid with 1 or 2 kills is a lot more fulfilling to me and makes me a lot more happy than going through a raid, dropping 6 PMCs, and then dying right at the end or something. That's just not fun at all to me. To each their own. A lot of people do like the PvP action, but I'm more balanced. I like the game to play it slower. I like to loot. I like to get out and make my money. And I do like my PvP, but not as much as some people do. Now, the reason I'm picking Customs and why it's my favorite map is that I think it's just so much easier than Reserve, Shoreline, and Interchange. I understand that these maps have much, much, much better loot. But to take Reserve for an example, Reserve actually doesn't have any good extracts. It's almost impossible to get out of that fucking map. Like, it's very, very hard. Like, you can take the train if you wait. You can hit the damn button, let everyone know that you're trying to extract and get to the bunker. You can spend 10 million on a Red Rebel and a paracord to finally use the cliff extract, or you can use the new bunker extract and things like that. And if you don't bring a backpack, you can use the sewer manhole, but I mean, that kind of negates the whole reason of why you'd be running reserves. You're not going to be able to take any loot out with you. And on top of that, Reserve is very well known for its exit campers. It's very frustrating to play Reserve. There's a lot more Chads running around Reserve, Shoreline, and Interchange. It's just not casual player friendly. And then on top of that, Reserve is definitely the most popular scav map in the game, and your chances of being killed by a scav are incredibly high. After you've killed your PMCs and gotten your loot and you're trying to extract, there's a good chance some dude's sitting in a corner with a beanie and a fucking Taz who's going to take all your shit from you. It's just how it is. And Customs, I don't feel like any of that really happens. It's a good, streamlined, fun map for me. I don't have to go too hard. I don't have to sweat my ass off to get through. And I think Customs really suits solos and duos. And that's how I usually play. And yeah, so by no means is this video, going to be completely correct. It's all my opinion. Everyone's going to have their own thing, their own ideas. But I'm a casual player, and I'm doing pretty well for myself. I have 10 mil, 30 million stash value. I've worked for it. I've learned my way around this game because I'm not the best player out there, and I'm not a PvP Chad like most people, but I like the game very much, and I've learned quite a bit about it. And I'm just going to show you guys my favorite routes and how I go about running around Customs to hopefully increase your guys' survival rates, get you guys some more loot on your way out, and yeah, hopefully you guys are also going to have some more fun with it. So I'll see all you guys in Customs in 1 second. Alrighty, everyone, we are in the raid now, and I'm going to be trying to keep this as short and concise as possible, and most of the spawns in Customs are very similar, so I'm going to kind of be enveloping them into one type of run, and we're going to start out with the railroad spawn or the big red spawns. And the only difference of any of the big red spawns is the one down at the other end of the railroads down there near the bridge. I'll talk about that one after this. So when I spawn anywhere near big red, especially this is probably the most common spot I spawn right around that tree, I have the option to run right into the construction area, or I can go and loot big red. Now if you want to go loot big red, there is some really good loot here, but this is an extremely high PvP area. If you're looking to get in and get some loot and get out, I probably would not run back to big red. The loot here is just not worth it, and there's so many PMC spawns around the side of the map that the chances of dying within the first 5 to 10 minutes of the raid are extremely high. Now, the best loot in Big Red is definitely going to be upstairs here. I'm sure a lot of people know about this already. You need the custom office key to get into this building here. And then once you get up into the top of Big Red, there's 2 doors here. This one you do have to breach, and then you do have a safe. I believe there's a Bitcoin spawn somewhere in here, but I've never seen it. You do have a jacket here, and then there's usually some type of, like a DVD spawn, any type of tech spawn over here. And then if you go into this room here, there is a PC there, PC there. There's a flash drive. There's a PC there as well with a flash drive. Some meds and a duffel bag. Now this is offline, so don't expect to see 2 flash drives in here very often. This is just completely coincidental. But pretty much that's all the loot in here. There is 1 weapons box right there, but in my opinion, it's just not worth it. So let's head on to how I would do this loot run if I do not go to Big Red. Alrighty, now we are back at the original spawn, and what I usually do as soon as I spawn here, I just immediately try and rush the land bridge. Now you do have to be careful. For some reason I have had people spawn like right over there in front of me before. It only happened twice, and I don't know if the game just glitched or something, but it did. Now when you run across the land bridge, if you do it right when you spawn, you should be the first person to run this direction. And that's very important because there's a really, really good loot building over here now. There are 2 hidden caches over here, but I don't usually bother with them because this area right here is so open and you're so exposed to tons of people around the map that I usually just bypass them. When you come up to checkpoint here, there's usually a ton of scavs that hang around, so just be careful, pop your occasional scavs, but keep on moving. That's the key here, is to get to this building very quickly. You will have your sniper scav up top there, and I usually check this dead scav right here. I have actually pulled 2 graphics cards off him. But the main key point of interest here, if you get here fast enough, is this building right here. This is the Intel building, and it's extremely popular. But if you spawn right where I spawned, you are the fastest to get to this location. At least I'm almost positive, unless someone spawns at old gas station, they might have just about the same timing. Now when you come into this building, you should be the first person here if you go directly here from that spawn. And then what I usually do is I run straight upstairs. Just make sure you're checking around, keeping vigilant. And then this room right here is a insane intel spawn. Every single one of these shelves has the chance to spawn an intel. It doesn't look like they're going to give us any for this video, but I've pulled 2 intel out of here at one point. There's usually a sugar spawn down here on the ground. There's usually condensed milk on the ground, and there's usually money on the desk here. And yeah, it's a great room. And then once you hit that, you can run over to this room down here, and this is a great med spawn room. You get CMS kits, full saluas. I've seen serves in here. There's a splint. There's usually something on here as well. This is all meds. Running in here, you do have a car there, usually saluas, anything of those sorts. No lead X's or anything. Continuing on for this run, once you hit these rooms, you have to start becoming a little bit aware of what's happening now. You can stay in here. There is a dead scav there you can loot. There's some decent stuff in here, like a jacket and some food. That's kind of like the thing around here is food and meds. There's a duffel there. Usually a med there, med box there, some med spawn on this as well, syringes. And then if you come into this guard room or so right here, there's usually some decent ammo. There's a duffel bag, some food, and then some odd ammos and a jacket right there. And there actually is a key spawn, but I don't know what it is. I don't think anything spawns here yet. I could be wrong though. Now once you leave this building, you have to start becoming aware of what's going on, because players will start to come from this direction. People could have caught up to you from this direction as well. And the way that we're going to go now is we're going to hit Rashala's den here. That's what this building is. We can either choose to fight through it. It doesn't have the best loot in my opinion. You can fight through it, or you can kind of just avoid it. Now, usually I do go through it, but there's not a whole lot of loot here. I'll show you guys really quick what there might be, but there isn't too much. There's an ammo crate up there, and then this room over here has I think this is a technical supply box. No, it's medical. Okay. And weapon box, med box, some IFAK, and that's about it for here. There is another weapons box there, and then looks like some type of food, hot rod, and then there are 2 jackets. And then the other locations in here are going to be over here to the right. This is kind of Rashala's room, his sex den, as you can see, some ass right there, some condensed milk, and mainly just food. There's a sugar there. And as you guys can see, if you pick up enough condensed milks and sugars, you're going to be making some money. So that's pretty much all that I'll worry about for this Rashala's area right here. Now once I pass here, I'm going to be moving towards Old Gas Station, because at this point I picked up a decent amount of loot, right? And I usually would have killed a scav or 2 by now, maybe seen a player, hopefully dropped them. And I'm going to be moving towards Old Gas Station, which is right here. Now Old Gas Station, from that spawn that I showed you guys, is usually an available exit. So if it is available to you once you go through that exit, you can catch a cheeky extract right here. It actually doesn't look like it's available right now. But if it was, you could just extract right there. But if not, we're going to kill the scabs here, and we're just going to keep running. There is a hidden stash in the corner over there. I usually don't try and hit it though, it's not that important. Now, if Old Gas Station is not part of the extract, my next ones are going to be the ZB extracts. Now, at this point, I usually have a decent amount of loot on me. I'm not really going to worry about it too much, but you could run in through here. There is some decent loot. There's a weapons box right there, and there is a jacket over here, and then some random stuff like fuel conditioner, H2O2, stuff like that can spawn back here. Got some sword-ins as well. And this is some really good loot. This is very, very unlikely that you're going to find all these things here. And then there is something else. There's a weapons crate in this corner right here. But then after that, the only other thing that I'll loot over here is going to be this hidden stash right here. And then I'm going to try and leave as soon as possible. Or just glitch the fuck out. Now ZB1012 is right here. If this light is on right here, you can use ZB1012 to extract. It's not, so we're going to keep on moving. And the key is to be pretty quick here. Alright, now that we're pretty full on loot and our first 2 extracts did not work, we're just going to head right to ZB1011. At this point, this whole entire section of the map has probably been picked over, and at this point we're just trying to get out. We have decent loot, we don't really care to fight too many more people, and we're just going right to ZB1011. And now we're at ZB1011, and we can extract. Now, I'll be right back, guys. We're going to head to a different location. Alrighty, now we're going to be going over how I go from the opposite side of the map, like say I spawn over on this side of the map or somewhere in here towards the ZB1011. Now, let's just say this isn't the exact spawn, but we're in this general area, right? The first thing I'm going to do is I'm not going to rush dorms. I'm not going to rush anything. There is a ton of loot around this side of the map. So you can see right here, there is a hidden stash. There is also a hidden stash all the way in that corner, and there is also a hidden stash, which I'll show you right over here. And this is where the other hidden stash is, right there. Now, there are quite a few spawns over here, But there's not as much as there is at Big Red. So I'm going to show you guys, if I spawn over here, this is kind of the type of loot that I'm going to be getting. I'm going to be taking it slow, and I'm going to kill probably 1 or 2 PMCs over here and then loot this whole entire area. So this building right here is decent. You get a dead scav here, you get a toolbox, there's some random stuff that spawn on these. If you run up top there, there is a big green weapons box. There is some spawns there. There is a certain spawn right here. I think it's a key or something. I don't really quite remember, which is there. And there's also another big green weapons box up top there. And then what I usually do is I come out to here. And this is a spot that a lot of people don't really know about. As usual, just make sure you're being careful. There are spawns around here. But if you come to this van right here, you can see there's 2 PCs. Another flash drive and another PC there. So you can hit those. And then we're going to head to possibly my favorite building of the new customs expansion. I probably like this a little bit more than dorms. Now the first thing we're going to do is we're going to run up these stairs. Once you come up here, this is all new. You come into here, there's usually a gold spawn or a gold chain spawn right there, some condensed milk, sugar, soda, there's your sugar, 2 jackets, and then you can come into here. There's usually fuel, dry fuel, fuel conditioner. There's stuff on these boxes. There's a box right here. There's just a bunch of random shit around this room that's usually worth a lot of money. There's stuff that spawns all over these, like your cords, your military cables, everything. And just some really good loot. And then we come over to this room here. And I'm sure most of you guys know about this room. There are some stuff that spawn on this bed, but a lot of times it glitches out and you can't actually grab them. There's usually a roller that spawns on his wrist, even though I've never seen it before. I've actually never seen it. And then there's rare spawns that spawn back here, like your roosters and your ravens and stuff like that. And then this little room right here is great. You can have ammo spawns, you can have food spawns, usually sugar, hot rods, everything food-wise spawns in here. And I usually grab all those things because it does add up. Then we're going to head over to the other side here. Now this room is great. You have another 2 PCs, and there's also a tech spawn down here. I've pulled up Tetris and graphics cards right off the ground here. You come into this room, you got a duffel bag, you get some random spawns in here, you get some spawns on the tables, you have a jacket right there, and there's just some random shit hanging around the room. You come into the bathroom and there's a jacket, and then you come into this room and there is a toolbox, screwdriver, another toolbox there, some random tools and everything, med bag, gasoline spawns here too apparently, I didn't know that, and this is usually a water filter spawn as well. So there's some really good loot here, as you guys can see. So yeah, that's pretty much what I do with this room. You can come down here and you can hit these doors. There's some really good shit in there, but the key's worth like 500k, and I don't really know why. I don't ever bother with it because it's so expensive. You come back to here, there's just a bunch of random stuff. There's some pliers, you can get screws, you can get nuts, bolts, AR-15 charge handles apparently, RPK rails. There's usually I've seen eagle neck back here, there's a bunch of shit. And yeah, so once I hit these parts of the map, things have usually calmed down at this point. So what I'll do is I will just stick to the outside of the map. I'll run back here, and I'll just constantly be aware that I might be running into some players at any point. So once I come through here, you always want to be aware of players running through the woods and stuff there. I come right to this hidden stash right here. Stash. And then we're just going to keep on moving. And then once we get over here, there is another hidden stash there. And then once you get back here, you have 2 choices. At this point, if I spawned here and ran back to there, or if I spawned there, hit all the buildings and ran to here, I'm usually pretty full on loot. So I don't really care to fight players at this point. It's just not really going to benefit me. So what I'll do is I'll hug the outside of the map. Now you can go to rocks if you want, but in my opinion, I usually just stick out here. I avoid gas station, and I kind of just do my own thing. Now, there is a hidden stash behind the dumpster right over there. I'm not going to show you exactly where it is. This isn't a hidden stash video. And then there's another hidden stash somewhere in here. I don't exactly remember. It's in one of these bushes in this side of the map. And I usually hit that one as well. And then we're on our way, and we're just going to stick to the edge of the map. And we're just going to be trying to extract. And then once you get to this point, I'm sure anyone has ran this map, you're just going to want to keep on hugging the outside of the map. You're going to want to try and extract. You can try Smuggler's Boat, you can try the car extract, or you can try to get all the way to the other side of the map at the, I forget what they're called, but near like the crossroads and stuff like that, all the way at the other side of the map. So that's going to conclude that loot run, and so we're going to start here, which is another spawn, and then I'm going to tell you guys one other spawn after this. Now, if you spawn in this location here, or anywhere around here, which is very common, this is one of two spawns which are the first to get to dorms. Now, if you spawn here, you have two options. You can go back, the looting that I said, and then work your way through the whole entire map, or you can go big boy time. Now, these are the times which you rush dorms, when you have this spawn, and then I'll show you guys a spawn later. So usually once I spawn here, I go, alright, this is an all or nothing raid. So I'm going to spawn in, and I'm going to sprint right to dorms. Now once I get to dorms, I have two decisions. I either go 3-story or I go 2-story. Most of the time, if I'm fast enough, I will go right to 3-story. So we'll do that loot run real quick. Now, if you are rushing straight to 3-story, there is a good chance you are going to run into PvP action. That's just how it is. Dorms is still very popular. And what you're going to do is you're going to run right up here. I'm sure everyone has done this, and you're going to go to the marked room. And you're just going to be aware. Someone could have gotten here before. You're going to check all your doors, and then you're going to open the marked room. Once you open marked room, if you want PvP, you can camp. You can stay here, and you can wait for people to come to you. Or just get the fuck out. The only other things that I like to spawn in, or do in 3-story are this room right down here, which is 214, I believe, and you unlock this. This is right where you came in, and then there is a safe right there, and there is some other spawns in here. Then I usually run down to here, jump on this chair, and get into this room here for the PC. And then the other room is, I believe, it is this one, 204. And there is a gun safe right here. I've never actually had anything spawn in there other than like random ammo and shit like that. But there actually is a safe up top here. This counts as a full 3x3 slot safe. And that's pretty much all I want from 3-story. Now, what a lot of people don't know is that 2-story actually has a lot of loot. So we're going to actually get over to 2-story. And we're going to check it out. Now, when we come in here, constantly just be aware of what's going on. You can hit the guard desk room right here. You do have a weapons box, some ammo box. There is a key spawn in here, and that's about it. There's usually an AK as well in here. Duffel bag box, weapons box right there. And then I always run down to here and hit these rooms. This one is 114, and you get a med box, you get a PC, and you get a safe. And then actually across over here, game glitches again, there is another safe. Once I hit those, you can come into the bathroom here. There is a dead scav. There is some jackets in the upstairs bathroom, sorry. So we'll go upstairs. Here's the upstairs bathroom, and here's your jackets. And then if you just run around here, there usually is a few jackets and stuff. Some miscellaneous shit to be collected. And then usually at the end of that, I'll have at least 7,000 rubles. And at that point, I'm just going to leave. I'm not going to worry about anything else. The chances of me pulling a Bitcoin, base, things that are very much worth it to extract with, I'm just going to leave. It's okay if you didn't kill anyone, just as long as you're in the raid for 10 minutes. Maybe kill the scab or two, and then you just head on out. You give them your 7k, and then you wait 1 minute and you get out. That's pretty much how I do that run. Now we're going to go to the other spawn. And one more thing, if the car extract is not there, pretty much all you're going to do is just run this route. Just stay vigilant, stay aware of people, and run to smugglers, and then run to the other location as well for the extract. It's going to be all the way down at the end of the map over there. Yeah, you pretty much just stick to the outsides of the map. Always check for someone camping right there. That's the only extract camp that I see in this game or on this map quite often. If your smuggler is there, you go for it. And then I'm not going to worry about it too much, but the other spawn that is very, very popular is going to be right over there. Right on that little walkway there. And that is the other spawn in which you have the option to either run back to Big Red or you rush dorms. This is the other closest spawn to dorms. Now this one is a little bit further away than the other one that I just showed you, but you can still make it to 3-story pretty fast. So usually when I spawn here, I go, okay, this is one of my all or nothing raids once again. I just go straight into dorms. So then you sprint to dorms, you'd hit it up, and yeah. Alright everyone, I hope that is useful to you guys. I know it wasn't super in depth, they're probably the best customs tutorial that you're going to see. But it's kind of just the idea of how I run customs, why I think it's, you know, really casual player friendly. You can get some good loot, and hopefully I help you guys find that loot faster, easier, and kind of take the safest routes to everything. You'll get your little bit of PvP in there, and you know, get your loot and hopefully get out. I think it's a great, or I think customs is a great map for casual players, very fun, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. The link to my Patreon is in the description. If you guys like the content, please like and subscribe. It means so much to me and helps my channel out immensely. And just once again, the support has been out of this world, outstanding. I can't thank you guys enough. It means so much to me, and I'll keep making these videos. I'm trying to get one out every week. I might even have one out again this weekend. We'll see how it goes. School's toning down just a little bit, so I'm going to try and put more effort into making videos and things like that. And yeah, I'll talk to y'all in the next one. Peace.